Namaste to all. Ram Ram Ram. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnuhu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste to all. Ram Ram Ram. Welcome to the second live learning of 2025. With Guru Kripa, we did Ganesha Stotram last month. A beautiful short sloka, and many messaged me personally saying that after coming into the live session, understanding the pronunciation, understanding the meaning, they were also able to by heart the shloka, including Adiyan. I was able to by heart the shloka post the learning. I think when you learn it live, your focus is there, and the meaning as a whole adds a lot of beauty to it. So many message saying that they were able to by heart and they have been regularly chanting the shloka since then. Extremely delighted and blessed to hear that. And today we will be doing one of the most beautiful compositions by Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padal. It's one of my personal favorites, and with Shivaratri around the corner and Ardhanaareeshwara Swarupam, which has a beautiful relationship to Shivaratri as well. So I thought, why not learn this shloka? As the name of the shloka goes, Ardhanarishvara Stotram. Ardha is half, Nari is woman. So Shiva, who completely takes the masculine form, gave half of his shariram, his kayam, half of his bhagam to Parvati. So Shiva and Shakti are one and the same. That tattva is kind of portrayed in this Swarupa Varipadu or Swarupa prayer or worship that we do. So that is the beauty of this shloka, and very beautifully using simple padas, Adi Shankara has described Shiva and Parvati. So Shiva takes the right half and Parvati takes the left half, and using the right form of prayoga as in Sanskritam, and very short and sweet, and lot of these padas in the shloka are something that are there in Anya Bhasha as well, like Nupura, Kaya, Kundala. So these are there in other languages as well. So even if we don't completely understand Sanskritam, as and when we chant, we are able to sort of grasp the meaning and enjoy that beautiful Swarupam where Mata and Pita are there just in one form. You don't have to go to a separate parent. The parents are there. Jagajanani and Jagadishwarar is there. Jagannatha, they are there in the one Swarupa. And by just praying to this form, there is a lot of equanimity of mind. And I think it also portrays the form or portrays the message that Shiva and Shakti are one and the same. There is equality there, there is respect there is love there, and no one is greater than the other, and no one is superior to the other. And the mutual love that is there between Shiva and Parvati, which Shankara has very beautifully depicted in Saundarya Lahari as well. That is again reiterated in this particular shloka. So a lot of times when a spousal relationship gets into kind of a turbulent mode, chanting this shloka causes the unity between them, harmony between a husband and wife, and enhances the understanding, brings about the love. So when one of my friend's daughter got married and she wanted to chant a shloka there, I had in fact suggested Ardhanarishvara Stotram to her. So that, the bride and the groom who are into that relationship, may they maintain that love and unity and equality throughout their life with mutual respect as well. So that is the introduction. We will get into the shloka and then we can do the meaning part. Any volunteer who can repeat after me? Preferably with Sanskritam, a little bit of at least Sanskritam pronunciation knowledge. Okay, Sujata Bagni, 1 second. Let me. Sujata Bagni, you can unmute yourself.
Namaste, Bidi.
Shri Ardhanaareeshwara Stotram.
Shri Ardhanarishvara Stotram.
Are you in a position to turn on your video?
Vaniji?
Are you in a position to turn on your video?
Yes, Vaniji.
1 second. How do I make the request? Video. You don't get an option, right? To turn it on?
Yes, Vaniji.
Can you turn it on?
The host has disabled it.
Okay, can you make a request? Let me see if I get that request. It's not allowing. 1 minute. I can't change the setting here. Give me just a minute. The camera is not shared. Okay, could you try now? There you go. Namaste. We'll start. Champeya Gaurardha Sharirakaye.
Champeya Gaurardha Sharirakaye.
Karpura Gaurardha Sharirakaye.
Karpura Gaurardha Sharirakaye.
Dhammillakaye cha Jatadharaya.
Dhammillakaye cha Jatadharaya.
Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya.
So the first half always ends with yai, which indicates Parvati. The second half ends with ya. Kaya refers to Shiva. Again here, Kayai refers to Parvati, and Jatadharaya, those who know Sanskritam, Ramaya, and Lakshmi, the Parvatyai, that is the connotation here because Namaha is there. So the first half refers to Parvati and the second half refers to Shiva. We'll go with a full line. Champeya Gaurardha Sharirakaye. Karpura Gaurardha Sharirakaye.
Champeya Gaurardha Sharirakaye. Karpura Gaurardha Sharirakaye.
Dhammillakaye cha Jatadharaya. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya.
Dhammillakaye cha Jatadharaya. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya.
Can you try?
चाम्पेय गौरार्धशरीरकायै कर्पूरगौरार्धशरीरकाय धम्मिल्लकायै च जटाधराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
Very good. कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै
कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै
चितारजः पुञ्जविचर्चिताय
चितारजपुञ्जविचर्चिताय
कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय
कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
Very good. कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै चितारजः पुञ्जविचर्चिताय
कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै चितारजपुञ्जविचर्चिताय
कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
Very good. Go ahead and try.
कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै चितारजपुञ्जविचर्चिताय कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
Very good. The visarga there here would be Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. So you say the ish twice. And here Chitarajaf Punja Vicharchitaya. That is the visarga there. Jhanat Vanat Kankana Nupurayai
जनत जनत
Kwanat
जनत जनत
Kwanat Ikwa
ओके
like Pakwa.
जनत वनत कंकण नूपुरायै
Padabjarajat Haninupuraya
पादाब्जराजत फणिनूपुराय
हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय
हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
झणत्वणत् कङ्कणनूपुरायै पादाब्जराजत् फणिनूपुराय हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
जनत वनात् कंकण जनत वनत कंकण नूपुरायै पादाब्जराजत फणिनूपुराय हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
Very good. we did the full shloka, right? Okay. विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै
विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै
विशालनीलोत्पल you split it there
Okay.
नीलोत्पललोचनायै
विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै
विकासि विकासि पङ्केरुहलोचनाय
विकासि पङ्केरुहलोचनाय
समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय
समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
विषादनीलोत्पललोचनायै विकासि पङ्केरुहलोचनाय
विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै विकासि पङ्केरुहलोचनाय
समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
Very good. Go ahead.
विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै विकासि पङ्केरुहलोचनाय समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
Very good. मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै
मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै
कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय
कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय
Very good. The dha pronunciation is Mahapranah there. Very good. Divyambarayai cha digambaraya
दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय
Namah Shivayai cha Namah Shivaya
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
Mandaramala Kalitalakayai Kapalamalankkita Kandharaya
मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय
दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
Very good. Go ahead.
मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
Very good. अम्भोधरश्यामलकुन्तलायै
अम्भोधर श्यामलकुन्तलायै
The ish you say it twice. There is a dvitva there. Ambodharashyamalakuntalayai
अम्भोधर श्यामलकुन्तलायै
Tadit Prabhatamrajatadharaya
तडित् प्रभाताम्रजटा तडित् प्रभाताम्र
So Tadit is one.
जटाधर
Correct. Tadit Prabha Tamra Jata Dharaya. So Tadit Prabha Tamra. Tamra is copper. Tadit Prabha Tamra Jata Dharaya.
तडित् प्रभाताम्रजटाधराय
No Mahapranah here. One more time.
तडित् प्रभाताम्रजटाधराय
Very good. Nirishwarayai Nikhileshwaraya
निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
अम्भोधरश्यामलकुन्तलायै तडित्प्रभाताम्रजटाधराय
अम्बोधर श्यामलकुन्तलायै तडिप्रभाताम्रजटाधराय
निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय one more time
निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
very good full one
अम्भोधर श्यामलकुन्तलाय तडिप्रभाताम्रजटाधराय निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
very good प्रपञ्च सृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै
प्रपञ्च सृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै
correct prapancha we tend to say prabanja so it is prapancha सृष्ट्युन्मुख प्रपञ्च सृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै
प्रपञ्च सृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै
समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय
समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय
जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे
जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
प्रपञ्चसृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय
प्रपञ्च सृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय
जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
very good go ahead and try
प्रपञ्च सृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
very good प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै
प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै
स्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय
स्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय
शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय
शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै स्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय
प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै स्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय
शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
Very good. Go ahead and try.
प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै स्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय
एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो
एतत् पठेदष्टकमु एतत् पठेदष्टकम्
इष्टदम्.
इष्टदं यो
So the split is etat pathet ashtakam ishtadam yah. That is the split there. Etat pathet ashtakam ishtadam yo
एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो
bhaktya samanyo bhuvi dirghajeevi
भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी
प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालम्
प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालम्
भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः
भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः
एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी
एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी
प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालम् भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः
प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालम् भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः
वेरी गुड
एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालम् भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः
वेरी गुड वेरी गुड इति श्रीमच्छङ्करभगवतः कृतौ अर्धनारीश्वरस्तोत्रम् सम्पूर्णम्
इति श्रीमच्छङ्करभगवतकृतौ अर्धनारीश्वरस्तोत्रम् सम्पूर्णम्
Very good. Very well repeated, Sujata ji. Excellent.
धन्यवादः
Dhanyavadah, Ram Ram.
राम राम
Ram Ram ji. Excellent. Anybody who likes to try? Any doubts in any of the pronunciations? Go back. How someone can just compose such a beautiful composition, stotra, with such sarala padas, so easy when you pronounce, when you learn, when you enjoy. It is so easy and yet so beautiful. That is the beauty and the mahatvam of Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada. Any doubts in any of the pronunciation? I'm just looking at YouTube as well to see anybody has any question. Nine. Okay. Let's look at 9. Etat pathed. So the split here is etat pathed ashtaka mishtadamyo. So together it will become etat pathed ashtaka mishtadamyo bhaktya samanyo bhuvi dirgha Jivi. Prapnoti saubhagyam anantakalam. So together it will become Prapnoti saubhagyam anantakalam. Bhuyat sada tasya samasta siddhi. एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालं भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः. Seventh shloka. Yeah, split we will see. I will say it anyways. Prapancha, it is Srishti Unmukha. That is the split there. So there is a Yarna Sandhi that happens. So Prapancha Srishtyunmukha Srishtyunmukha Lasyakayai Samasta Samharaka Tandavaya Jagadjananyai Jagadekapitre Namah Shivayai cha Namah Shivaya. Prapancha Srishtyunmukha. So it is Srishti Unmukha becomes Srishtyunmukha Yakara. Pragya Bhagini, I think that was, I hope that was helpful. Anything else? Okay, anybody who would like to try? Let me unmute somebody who's not chanted before. I think Premraj Mahodaya, you chanted before. Let's see if Naga Padmaja Bhagini. I'm going to try unmuting you.
Namaste, Bhagini.
Namaskar.
Can I chant, Bhagini?
Please go ahead.
चाम्पेय गौरार्ध शरीरकायै कर्पूर गौरार्ध शरीरकाया धम्मिल्लकायै च जटाधराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय.
Very good. Little slower, Bhagini. Very good.
Okay.
Little slower.
Okay. कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुम चर्चितायै चितारजः पुञ्ज विचर्चिताय कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय. झणत्क्वणत् कङ्कण नूपुरायै पादाब्जराजत् फणिनूपुराय.
Padabja.
Okay. पादाब्जरा राजात् फणिनूपुराय हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय. विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै विकासिपङ्केरुहलोचनाय समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय. मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय. अम्भोधर श्यामल कुन्तलायै तटित्प्रभाताम्र
Tadit. Tadit.
तडित् तडित् प्रभाताम्रजटाधराय निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय. प्रपञ्च सृष्टिन्मुखलास्यकायै समस्तसंहारक ताण्डवाय जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय. प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै स्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय एतत् पठे दष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या सामान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालम् भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः इति श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवत्कृतौ अर्धनारीश्वरस्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्.
When you say here, very good, excellent, Bhagni. When you say here, iti Srimad Shankara Bhagavatah Kritau, that is correct. Or you can say, iti Srimad Shankara Bhagavatah Kritau. There is a hakaraha that you have to say there. The easier thing for breath's sake would be to split. Iti Srimad Shankara Bhagavatah Kritau. That is the easiest thing. Can you repeat that?
Can I repeat?
Yeah, please.
श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवतः कृतौ
Very good.
अर्धनारीश्वरस्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्.
Very good. Very good, Bhagni. Where are you joining us from?
Bangalore.
Bangalore. Uttamam. Very good. Ram Ram.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Dhanyavada. Megha Bhagni, you can try. Sri Vidya Bhagni has requested that you chant each line twice. We can probably do that and then move on to the meaning part.
चाम्पेय गौरार्थ शरीरकायै कर्पूर गौरार्थ शरीरकाय चाम्पेय गौरार्थ शरीरकायै कर्पूर गौरार्थ शरीरकाय
Little slower. Little slower.
दम्मिल्लकायै च जटाधराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय दम्मिल्लकायै च जटाधराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय कस्तूरिकाङ्कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै चितारजः पुञ्जविचर्चिताय कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै चितारजः पुञ्जविचर्चिताय कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय छनत्क्वनत्कङ्कणनूपुरायै पादाब्जराजत्फणिनूपुराय छनत्क्वनत्कङ्कणनूपुरायै पादाब्जराजत्फणिनूपुराय हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै विकासिपङ्केरुहलोचनाय विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै विकासिपङ्केरुहलोचनाय समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय समेक्षणायै च विषमेक्षणाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय अम्भोधरश्यामलकुन्तलायै तडिप्रभाताम्रजटाधराय अम्भोधरश्यामलकुन्तलायै तडित्प्रभाताम्रजटाधराय निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय प्रपञ्चसृष्टुन्मुखलास्यकायै समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय प्रपञ्चसृष्टुन्मुखलास्यकायै समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै स्फुरन्महापन्नखभूषणाय प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै स्फुरन्महापन्नखभूषणाय शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालं भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालं भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः इति श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवतः कृतौ अर्धनारीश्वर स्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Dhanyavadaha. Thank you so much. Very good. We'll quickly look at the meaning, and if time permits, we can come back to one more round of chanting. After I think we go through the meaning, I think the padas will sink in a little more. Let me just check to see if anything is there. Okay. So like I mentioned, Ardhanaareeshwara Stotram. Ardha is half, and Nari, we all know Nari means woman. So half of the body is taken by a woman. And of course, that woman is none other than Parvati Devi. This Ardhanarishvara Swarupam is referenced in lot of Puranas. In Skanda Puranam, there is a note where Parvati makes a prarthana to Shiva saying that I should never leave you. I should always be with you, which is when Shiva gave half of his Angam, his Kayam, to Parvati. And in Mahabharatam, when Upamanyu prays to Shiva, the form that he presents himself, Lord Shiva presents himself, is the Ardhanarishvara Swarupam, where I am the Janani and I am the Janaka. I am the mother and I am the father. I think there is also another reference where an asura called Andakasura, he is attracted to Parvati Devi and he desires Parvati. So there is a whole story behind that, which is one of the Attaviratana temples, Ashtaviratana, they call it Attaviratana, the temples which are there in Tamil Nadu. So there is an instance where his desire, his lust for Parvati doesn't sink down at all. And what happens? So Parvati and Shiva cleverly, they take the Ardhanarishvara Swarupam, where when he looks at Parvati, one half is Shiva. So when that happens, his desire kind of comes down a little bit. So when you see the entire beauty of Parvati, but when there is a form which is there to protect her, which is equal to her, which is in par with her, but it is a masculine form. What happens is Andakasura's desire sort of like comes down. Of course, we have all the Nayanmars who worshipped Shiva, and if you look at their charitam, So every Nayanmar, in fact, these stories are there in our channel as well. Every Nayanmar, when they exhibit their bhakti and when Shiva does a leela to bring out their bhakti and show that bhakti to the world, at the end, after the leela, when Shiva presents himself, it is always with Parvati. So Shiva and Shakti are one and the same, the Prakriti and the Purusha. The entire creation and the creator, they're all the same. In fact, Shankara Bhagavad Padal starts Saundarya Lagari with that only Shiva Shaktya. That is how he starts. And in Lalita Sahasranamam, there are so many names, namas of Lalita Devi, which are attributed to Shiva. So the last, I think, off the top of my head, Shri Shiva, Shiva Shakti Aikya. So Shiva, Shakti, Aikya. So that is the Aikyam happens there. It is all one and the same. Kaula Margam, that also talks about Shiva and Shakti, which are united and they are presented in one form. They are no different from each other. In Tamil, they'll say, Shiva Millai, Shakti Illai, Shakti Illai, Shiva Millai. So without the Shakti, Shiva becomes a Jadam, something which has no Chetanam, something that cannot move, something which cannot think. But at the same time, the entire cosmic universe is operated on the principle that these two forces, the masculine and the feminine forces, are in par with each other and they do their parts for in all the three, Shrishti, Sthiti, and Paripalanam. They do all three in par with each other. And the famous legend that we all know is that of Bhringi Munivar, where he was such a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva that he wouldn't consider any other deity when he wanted to worship. So Shiva, while he was presenting himself, he presented himself with Parvati. So the way Bhringi Muni would worship Shiva is that even if Shakti, Parvati, is there next to him, he would only do Pradakshinam for Shiva. He would completely neglect Parvati. For him, Shiva and only Shiva. That kind of, single pointed devotion that he had towards Shiva. And what happens then? Parvati gets offended and she wants to convey the message to Bhringi Munivar that Shiva and Shakti are one and the same. And she is in fact the integral part of Shiva himself. So in that Ardhanaareeshwara Swarupam, Shiva and Shakti present themselves. And even then, what happens is that Bhringi Munivar, he goes in the form of a Brahmara, which is a bee or a Bringa. And then he puts a hole, and then even there he does Pradakshina only for the Shiva Swarupam. So Parvati wants to teach him a lesson, and she sort of takes away his physical strength, takes away the flesh and the muscles and everything. And he becomes like a skeleton, and Shiva, blessing him, gives like a third leg to him. But the overall concept is that Shiva and Shakti are the united form. They are the supreme power. They are the masculine and the feminine form. And praying to them in this form, of course, gives that kind of samatva bhava in our mind and also in our primal relationship, which, for folks who are married, it would be the spousal relationship where you maintain a harmony between the husband and the wife. There is a cordial relationship. There is a loving relationship. None other than Parvati Parameshwara are, representative of that kind of beautiful relationship between a pati and a patni. So these references are there in many of the Puranas where Shiva and Shakti present themselves in this form where Parvati is on the left bhagam of Shiva. So there is an interesting anecdote that I just remember where I think it is usually said that Shiva gave half of his bhagam to Parvati. So Parvati kind of, took the half of Shiva is what is usually quoted. And there was this interesting conversation that happened between Nilakanda Dikshidhar, who came in the Appaya Dikshidhar Vamsham, And he had this conversation with the, I think it was the Nayaka king there, and he was saying that this Ambal, in Tamil we call Ashad. She's so silly and she doesn't have the right kind of intellect. She has to constantly keep hearing that Shiva has given, half of his to Parvati. He has done a favor and he has given half of his Anga to Parvati. While the truth is that she is the one who has taken Shiva into her. And apparently, goddess Meenakshi was listening to this conversation that was happening between Nilakanda Dikshidhar and the king. And she giggled and laughed from behind a pillar there in Madurai. So this always appeals to me. It's about perception, right? What is believed and what is the perception and what is the truth. So while we all think Shiva gave half of his part to Parvati, it is Parvati who took Shiva onto her. So the perception is different, and the way it is depicted, way it is understood, and the way we kind of internalize it is very different when you make a statement A versus statement B. And that is what Nilakanda Dikshidhar, who was a great devotee of Madurai Meenakshi Amman, I think he was having this conversation. So we'll go into the individual verses, the meaning, and then the overall meaning of each of the verse. So the first verse goes, Champeya Gaurardha Sharirakaye Karpura Gaurardha Sharirakaye Dhammillakaye Cha Jata Dharaya Namah Shivaya Cha Namah Shivaya. So every verse ends with Namaha Shivaya Cha Namaha Shivaya. So Shiva denotes Lord Shiva, Parameshwara. Shiva denotes Parvati. Shri Shiva, Shiva Shakti Eka. We have that. So even when we use the pada Krishna, Krishna denotes Lord Krishna. Krishna denotes Draupadi, who also was dark complexioned. So Namah Shivaya, this denotes goddess Parvati. Namah Shivaya denotes Shiva. Again, Kayai, Kaya. Anytime there is Yai, it is Parvati. Anytime it is Ya, it is Shiva. So if you are confused around whom this denotes, you can have this in mind. Lakshmyai Namaha. We do Lakshmi Puja. Lakshmyai Namaha. Saraswatyai Namaha. So when it comes Yai, it is the Srilinga form. When it comes Ganeshaya Namaha, Ramaya, Ramabhadraya, ya, that which ends with Yakara is the masculine form. So Champeya, Gaura, Ardha, Sharira, Kaya. Kaya is body. So this first line refers to the complete form. So when the moment we look at a form, the first thing that we see is usually the vadanam and how the form actually is when we see from a distance. Karpura, again, Gaura, Ardha, Sharira, Kaya. So clearly the first verse starts with, there are two halves. Ardha means half. There are two halves, and I can see one half which has a particular complexion, and the second half, the other half, which I see in a different complexion. And what is the complexion? Champeya Gaura Ardha Sharirakaya. So one is golden colored, like the Champaka flower. Karpura Gaura Ardha Sharirakaya. The other one refers to a pure white or camphor. We all know Shiva has Basma, Vibhuti on his body. So obviously his body is going to be whitish in color, while Parvati has the golden kind of glow, golden colored. Even in Lakshmi Shri Shuktam, that is how it starts. Hiranya Varnam. So whenever there is a lady, the glow is depicted through the golden color. So one half is shining, glowing. It is whitish in color. The other half is glowing like molten golden color. And next comes, so you start from the top. So immediately you look at the hairdo. These days, when you go to reception, the first thing you see is the girl wearing a sari, a ghagra, something else, and then what kind of hairdo does she have, right? So the next goes the hair. So Dhammillakaye, Ambal having this beautiful kesham, the kesham that became one of the Tiruvilayadal, where Ambigai's hair, does it have natural fragrance or not? So she has this long, beautiful kesham, which is neatly, tightly braided, and it is kind of high on the top. So starting from the top of the head, the hair is beautifully braided. That is the form of Dhammillakaye. Jatadharaya. Shiva, we all know, has Jata Mudi, where he has the matted hair. Of course, he matted it further to control Ganga. So he knotted it there to make sure that Ganga rests there. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. So one half is shining. Ambika is shining, and it is golden in color, like the champaka. Champaka flower, you can see it has a yellowish gold color. And the other half is like white in color, like karpuram. Karpuram is camphor. So we all know camphor is white in color. So is bhasma. The hairdo, how does it look? It is neatly braided and beautifully decorated with nice fragrant flowers and all these ornaments. These days, this hairdo is a big thing. And Shiva's hair is knotted. Jatadharaya. It is matted. And I offer my salutation to both the halves. I salute Parvati and I salute Shiva. I offer my namaskarams, where they are presenting themselves in the form of Ardhanaareeshwara. Now, next comes, you come down. Kasturika Kumkuma Charchitayai Chitarajaha Punja Vicharchitaya Kritasmaraya Vikritasmaraya Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. So Kasturika, musk, which is the fragrant substance. Kumkuma, we all know kumkumam, saffron, that we all have. So the goddess Parvati has this on her forehead. Even in Lalita Sahasranamam, we have this reference. On the other hand, what does Shiva have? He has the vibhudi, the patte on his head. So Chita Rajav, Chita, that which is burnt. Rajav Punja Vicharchitaya. So he has ashes from the fire that has been smeared onto his forehead. Kritasmarayai Vikritasmaraya. So Parvati has a nice, Krita means something which is done very beautifully. In fact, Sanskritam, the word Samyak Kritam iti Sanskritam. It is not a random language. Every akshara which is there in the language, every pada which is there in the language, every vakyam that is constructed, it has a well-formed structure. That is why Samyak Kritam. Samyak means well. Kritam, that has been formed. Samskritam, that is the meaning. So here, Ambikai has this beautiful form, which is extremely structured and beautiful and organized to look at. On the other hand, we have Shiva. Vikrita means he does not pay attention, and there is a form of Vikritam here also refers to a terrifying form. Vikrita Smaraya, Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. So this is one interpretation. So Smara, we know Smara is the other name for Kamadeva. So Vikrita Smaraya, what did Shiva do to Kamadeva when after the episode where Dakshayani gives her life into the yagam of her father Daksha? Shiva takes Sati, and then, we know the Shakti Pitas that were formed, and then he feels that he experiences the Virakta Bhavam, saying that my life going forward is useless without Parvati. And he goes into Himalayas, Kailasham, and then he goes into deep penance. Nandi, being such an ardent devotee of Shiva, is just waiting there, waiting for his master to open his eyes and make some difference to his presence. But then Shiva is in deep meditation, yoga there. And now Devas are tortured by Tarakasura. So they need a child. Tarakasura has this boon that only a child of Parvati and Shiva will be able to destroy kill him. So they need to unite Parvati and Shiva. Now Parvati is born again as Himavan's daughter, and she does tapas, aparana, not consuming anything, only consuming leaves. And they say Shiva is still undeterred. He's still in deep meditation, and they feel they need to induce that love between Parvati and Shiva. And there is only one person who can do that. It is indeed Kamadeva. So they send Kamadeva, and then Shiva, who is disturbed during his meditation, he gets furious and then he burns Kamadeva. So Vikrita Smaraya, there is another interpretation there which we can kind of understand. Vikrita means kind of destruction. He destroyed Kamadeva, and then what happened? The most recent shloka that we learned in Saundarya Lahari talks about how Kama could not bear that heat, and then he rushed to Parvati Devi for the Sheetalam, or the coldness, or the compassion that she would give. And she sort of like, they both then brought back Kamadeva into life, of course, only visible to Rati Devi. So Kritasmarayai, Vikritasmaraya, Namah Shivaya, cha Namah Shivaya. So he destroyed, and then she, being the Jagajanani, Jaganmata, she brought him back to life. So here it talks about what can be seen on their forehead. So you have the Kasturika and Kunkuma on Parvati Devi's forehead. You have the ashes from the pyre, which is seen on Shiva's forehead. Extremely beautifully structured Parvati, and then Vikrita, a Ghora structure. Of course, what he wears and the Bhushanam and the way he is, nothing but a terrifying form. Of course, here the other interpretation is Shiva who destroyed Kama, and Parvati who gave life back to Kamadeva. So, Namah Shivaya, cha Namah Shivaya. Now, next comes the Abharana. We all look at Janat, Kwanat, Kankana Nupuraya, Padabja Rajat, Hani Nupuraya, Hemangadaya, Bhujagangadaya, Namah Shivaya, cha Namah Shivaya. So, whenever ornaments come into a picture, in general, when ladies wear it, there is always a sound which is associated, even if it is kundalam, even if it is bangle, even if it is nupuram. The beauty of the jewelry comes from the fact, the abharanam comes from the fact that it makes the tinkling sound, which is very pleasing to hear. And Parvati, of course, being Jaganmata, she is the exact representation of that. Jhanat Kwanat Kankana Nupuraya. She is wearing bangles that make these lovely tinkling sound. Nupura is nothing but anklet. So she is also adorned with beautiful anklet, which is extremely attractive to look at. That is the half of Parvati. Now, when we turn and see what he is wearing, Bhadabja Rajat Hani Nupuraya. What is he wearing? He is wearing in his lotus feet. Feet are anyways lotus. It always signifies whether it is Bhagavan, whether it is Guru. Feet of Bhagavan, feet of Guru always denotes lotus, like the purity that it has. Whatever it might be, wherever it is, the kind of mud and dirt where the bija of lotus it is, but when it blooms, the beauty and the purity that lotus is depicting, that is what it is for us when it comes to Bhagavan and Guru. So Padabja Rajat, it is indeed shining, but then the shine is not coming from these fancy ornaments that Shiva is wearing. He is wearing Phani Nupuraya. He has snake as his Nupura. Every part of his anga is decorated by ornaments which are nothing but snakes, which is very scary and terrifying to look at. Again, Hemangadaya, they both have these armlets. That is such a beautiful picture that I came across today. I was just staring and looking at the picture for such a long time. So much of divinity in that photograph there. So Hemangadaya, whatever the armlet that they are wearing, she has Hema is golden colored, gold armlet. Shiva again is wearing Sarpa, snakes as his armlets. And Namah Shivaya, it's a Namah Shivaya. I salute Parvati, I do Namaskaram to Shiva. So here the ornaments are described where the tinkling sound, whenever a lady walks, it is beautiful. These days, the focus is on the kind of sandals and shoes women wear. I think the beauty lies in the bangles and the nupura and the movement of the kundalam that one wears when they present themselves, and there is nothing can beat that. So Janat Kwanat Kankana Nupuraya. So she is wearing these tinkling sounded kankana bangles and nupura. The lotus feet of both of them, it is indicated there. Of course, the Shiva's half has the shining snake, which is the Nopuram there. The armlet, again, is made of gold and it is made of Sarpa. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Vishala Neelotpala Lochanaya. Now comes the eyes. So we had the form where it was Karpura, where it was golden color, like the Champaka flower. I think then we, in the same verse, we had the hair structure, Dammillakaya, where you have the neatly, the braided hair, and then you had the Jatadharaya, the Jatamudi on Lord Shiva. And then the next one, it is what do you see in the forehead, where we see Bhasma, where we see the Kasturika Kunkuma Charchitaya. And then how they are structured, Kritasmaraya, Vikritasmaraya, beautiful to see. You know, there is a terrifying form which is associated with Shiva. So that is the second one. The third one, it comes to the jewelry. So Janat Kanat Kankana Nupuraya. What is Ambigai wearing and what is Shiva wearing? What kind of armlets each of them are wearing? That will be verse 3. Now, verse 4 comes to the eyes. The most beautiful anga of anybody, when you see, the first thing that we look at are the eyes. And so many verses, so many of the Rachayitas, particularly Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padal, where they talk about the eye and the glance of eye. In fact, I have mentioned this many times in many of our satsangs, where when Hanuman looks at Sita in Ashokavana for the very first time, and I'm ever grateful to Sri Dushyant Sridhar for this beautiful explanation that I listened to in 2017 or 2016, and it is still there etched in my heart forever. So when Hanuman looks at Sita Devi for the very first time, so there is a Ponnu Mappala comparison that happens in Hanuman's mind. So whenever we go for a wedding, we look to see, oh, how is the guy, how tall he is, and is the girl a match for the groom? And what about complexion? What about the way they look? What about their nose? What about the way they dress? So there's always a matchmaking that happens in terms of the appearance. So Hanuman is no different. When he goes and sees Sita for very first time in Ashokavana, not encountering, but he's seeing her for the very first time from behind. And I can't wait for that episode to arrive in our Sundarakandam class. So when he sees, immediately he thinks about, oh, this is Sita Devi, and how does she look? And when Hanuman is looking at Sita, she's like, oh, just like Rama, she also has that royal kind of look. There is divinity in Rama's face, and there is divinity in Sita Devi's face also. Oh, complexion wise, they are so beautiful to look at, and there is such a lovely match between the two. And the way Rama is lamenting about Sita, I can see that Sita is also lamenting about Rama. And then comes the point where Hanuman looks at Sita and looks at the eyes. So eyes are always very powerful. They convey so much, even when words fail, the eyes can convey, right? Annalum nokinal, Anokinan, Avalum Nokinal. So everything communication happens through the eyes. And Hanuman looking at Sita Devi's eyes, and at one point he felt, oh, the compassion that I see in Sita's eyes, I don't find that much of compassion in Rama. So until he met Rama, Hanuman had this Vanara kind of mind, and after he saw Rama, he decided once for all, my complete surrender would be to Rama. I will be a Ramadasa. I will I will do complete Sharanagati to Lord Rama. And then the moment he saw Sita and he saw that compassion in Sita's eyes, he experienced a moment of confusion. And in Kamba Ramayanam, Kambar describes this using one line, saying that, I apologize to the non-Tamil speaking folks here in the class, Yen Kulam Yanakku Tandal. Yen Kulam means the being that I belong to. I am a Vanara. Sita gave that back to me, because until he met Sita, there was no confusion in Hanuman's mind. He was very steadfast, thinking about only Rama. But the moment he saw Sita and saw the compassion in Sita's eyes, at one point he felt that, maybe Sita is the person, because that compassion is unmatchable. And so he immediately experienced confusion and the restlessness in his mind, which is a typical characteristic of a Vanara, where Vanara, that is why we say Kurang manam oru Kurang, right? It keeps jumping from one place to the other, experiencing restlessness. So the verse goes, Yen Kulam Yanakku Tandal. She immediately gave the Kulam back to me, which means that the settled mind, which was under complete surrender to Rama, now is confused, because there is nothing that can match Sita's compassion, which is why Tayar, as we say, Lakshmi Devi has that compassion. When we go to a Vaishnavite temple, I know this is a Shiva shloka and I'm referring to Sundarakandam, but the importance of eyes is what I wanted to highlight here. And I had not prepared this. I'm just speaking from whatever Periva is asking me to tell her. Raji is saying nice reference to Sundarakandam. Whatever he is giving, that is what is coming out. So when we go to, Vaishnavite temple, we go to Tayar first, and then we tell Tayar, I have come here, my namaskaram to you. By the time we go to Mahavishnu, Tayar would have already told Mahavishnu, Lakshmi Devi would have already told him, saying that there is a sweet bhakta who's coming there with a prarthana. Whatever he wants, please bless him with that. So here, verse 4 describes the beautiful eyes that are a key feature for anyone for that matter. So Vishala Nilotpala Lochanayai Vikasi Pankeruha Lochanaya Samekshanayai Vishamekshanaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya. So Vishala, which is very broad. Broad eyes are always very attractive. Nilotpala Lochanayai. Her eyes, which are resembling like the Nilotpalam, the blue lotus. Blue eyes are always attractive. Vikasita Pankeruha Lochanaye. On the other hand, Shiva also has Lochanam, which is like a lotus. So no less or no more. One is like, I think, bluish tinge. The other is the normal eyes one would have. Samekshanaye, which is very symmetrical, and Sama Iksha means Sama, which is equal, very nicely made. Ikshanam is the glance, the eyes. Vishamekshanaya. One is the power that Shiva's eyes depict. The other thing is Shiva has 3 eyes. Of course, Ambigai also has 3 eyes, but in general, when we say Trinetra, by default, it refers to Lord Shiva, because I think he is the one who is used the 3rd eye, right? When it comes to creating Kumara, or the Tarumi episode that we know, where he opened his Netrikan and he burnt, right? So he is the one who used or utilized or did the prayoga of the 3rd eye. So in general, when we say 3 eyes, it is Shiva. Of course, we have Lalita Sahasranamam, which is describing Ambigai also with three eyes. Sindura Aruna Vigraham Trinayanam, the one with 3 eyes is what we say. But the prayoga is more for Shiva. So Ambigai's eyes is very beautifully, it's pleasant to look at, pleasing to look at. It has that compassion, it has that daya, It has, a beautiful symmetry that is there in the construction of the eyes. And how many verses in Saundarya Lahari that Adi Shankara has talked about Ambika's eyes. On the other hand, Shiva's eyes is not symmetrical, in the sense there is a third eye there, and it is very aggressive to look at, which it always depicts Shiva's anger. Namah Shivaya cha, Namah Shivaya. So it talks about the eyes of Shiva and Parvati. Now comes the next, the garland that they are wearing. Mandara mala kalita kalayai kapala malankita kandharaya. What dress are they wearing? Divyambaraya. Ambaram is dress. Divyambaraya cha Digambaraya Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. Mandara mala. She's wearing the the Parvati part of Ardhanaareeshwara is wearing a beautiful garland. When we go to temples, some of the garlands are so attractive to look at. We will not even look at Swami. We'll be looking at the garland, the way the garland is structured. Sometimes even when we go to a Ganesha temple, the Aragampul or the Dhruva grass garlands are so beautifully made these days. The first thing we will see is that garland, and then only we'll be looking at Ganapati. So the garland is always attractive because it has that color, it has that attraction, it has the natural fragrance which might not reach us, but still it has that kind of pleasant beauty which is naturally attractive in nature. So Mandara Mala Kalita Kalai. So it is decorated beautifully on one half with Mandara flowers, the divine flowers. What is Shiva wearing? He is wearing Kapalam. Kapalam is nothing but skull. Kapala Malankita Kandharaya. He is wearing the around his neck, Kandaram is neck. So around his neck, he is wearing the Kapala Mala. Now, what is Ambigai wearing? Divyambaraya, Divya Ambara. Divya means divine. When you look at Ambigai's Vastram, of course, we ladies will be seeing at the color combination, how it is draped. When I go to temple, the first thing I will see is the sari draped very nicely. Those who are in Chennai, and if you are located in South Chennai, you will be able to strike a chord here. There is this temple called Ardhanarishvara temple in Besanagar, and the Swami there is Ardhanarishvara, and the Ambigai there is Aralakeshi. If at all you get a chance to visit Chennai, and you get a chance to come to South Chennai, and you get to go to Besanagar, this place is a must visit. The way that Ambigai is dressed up is a treat to watch. You will not be able to move away from her at all. I always feel when I see, I don't go that often, though it is very close to my house. But when I go and when I see pictures of Aralakeshi, I've always felt the Bhattar or the Vadyar who is dressing up Ambigai is Sakshat Vagdevis, right? Only such a person who has such blessing from Ambigai will be able to bring out such divinity in a Alankara. So Divyambaraya, the divine dressing that Ambigai carries. On the other hand, Shiva does not wear Ambaram, right? Digambaraya, he only has the directions as his Ambaram, which signifies that it is kind of, it is a sense of renunciation one experiences. We have seen now in the news also, you would have seen sadhus from, Kashi who are there at the Mahakumbha Mela, where the kind of renunciation, I am beyond the body, I am beyond what I wear, I am beyond what I carry, I am beyond what I represent. So Digambaraya, Dik means directions, Digambaraya. So Shiva is wearing the directions, the 8 directions as his Vastram, means that it signifies renunciation. The kind of the renunciation that Shiva has, the yogic state that he is in. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. So here it talks about the Mala, Mandara Mala. The other side has the Kapala Mala. Ambigai's dress is beautiful and divine to look at. Shiva has the Dik or the directions as his clothing. Now comes the complexion, I think. Ambodhara Shyamala Kuntalayai Tadit Prabha Tamra Jata Dharaya Nirishwarayai Nikhileshwaraya Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. So it is still describing the hair. So Ambigai's hair is dark in color, like the Shyamala Kuntalam means the dark cloud that carries Ambodhara. Amba is water, and Ambodhara means that which carries the water and gives us the water. So the dark cloud, which is Shyamala or black in color, Kuntalayai. The hair, Ambigai's hair is that colored. Tadit Prabha Tamra Jatadaraya. Tadit is lightning. And here you can see whenever Shiva's representation is there, the Jata Mudi is always in brownish color, which is Tamra, copper color, Jatadharaya. Nirishwarayai Nikhileshwaraya. She is the one who is equal to herself. There is nobody who is superior to her. Nikhileshwaraya, Shiva is the one who is the Lord of the entire universe. So they both represent the same. One is saying that there is nobody beyond, the other person is saying that he is the supreme. So essentially, both of them are the most supreme powers of the universe. Now, in this Ardhanarishvara, they both come together. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. My salutations to Shiva, Parvati, and Shiva. So here the hair texture is described. Shyamala is black in color. Tamra, copper colored. She is one who has no one superior to her, and he is the Lord of the universe. So essentially, A is equal to B. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. I offer my salutations. Now, Prapancha Srishtyunmukha Lasyakayai Samasta Samharaka Tandavaya Jagadjananyai Jagatega Pitre Jagadeka Pitre Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. So it talks about the two kind of nathanam or dance that each half is capable of performing. So we all know even in Lalita Sahasranamam, there is a nama that says Mahatandava Sakshini. So when the Tandavam was happening during the Pralayam, Parvati was the one who was the Sakshi for that. So Samasta Samhara, Pralayam Samhara, Tandavaya. So Shiva performs that Tandavam, which is the aggressive kind of dance. On the other hand, when you look at Parvati, it is the Lasya, which is the graceful, something pleasing to look at. And when it gives a sense of calmness when we look at the grace that Parvati depicts or creates or displays when she is doing the dance. So when the universe is manifested after the Pralayam, the dance that is performed is the Lasya Nathanam, which is performed by Parvati. And during the Pralaya Kalam, the entire universe is destructed. During that time, the Samhara Natanam, which is the Samhara Tandavam, is the destructive Tandava dance, is the cosmic dance, which is performed by, of course, we know the Nataraja form of Shiva. So these both, it is one Swarupa, one part is extremely graceful in nature and the other part is aggressive in nature. One is during creation, Srishti, and the other is during the Samhara. But at the end of the day, Jagat Jananyai, she is the Jaganmata, she is the mother of the universe. Jagat Eka Pitre, there is only one father for the universe, who is Shiva. So she is the mother and he is the father. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. So this seventh verse describes the Tandava Natanam that happens. One is extremely graceful and it happens during the Srishti. The other is the Rudra Tandavam that happens, Samhara Natanam that happens, which is displayed by Lord Shiva during the Samhara. In any case, one is Jagan Mata and the other is the Pita. Jagat Jananyai, Jagat Eka Pitre, Jagataha Eka Pita. So my salutations to him. So to the one and only Tata, for Tataha means father of the universe, I offer my namaskaras. I think we are ending with the Kundala. Pradipta Ratnojwala Kundalayai Spuran Maha Pannaga Bhushanaya Shivanvitaya cha Shivanvitaya Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya Pradipta Ratnojvala. It has these jewels, Ratnam, which are Jwala, means something which is shining. What are we referring to here? The kundala or the earrings that are made of these shining gems. Again, Shiva also, it is shining. It is probably shining by looking at the eyes of the snake. Pannaga Bhushanaya. Pannaga is nothing but Sarpa. Hani, Pannaga, Bhujanga, all mean Sarpa. Puran Maha Pannaga Bhushanaya. He is wearing the great serpent as his earrings. Shivanvitaya cha Shivanvitaya. She is the one who is always united with Shiva. Shiva is the one who is always united with Parvati. Shiva Anvitaya. Shiva Anvitaya. So you have to split it very differently here. Shiva Anvitaya. So she is the one who is always with Shiva. Shiva Anvitaya means he is the one who is always with Shiva. What a beautiful prayoga here. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. I offer my salutations to Parvati and Shiva. So it talks about the Kundalam. Both of them are resplendent in nature, shining. The Jwala or the Prakasham, the shine that they display is like a lamp. Pradipta Ratnojwala Kundalaye. Shiva's half also has that kind of spurat. Spurat is also shining, but it is made of Pannaga Bhushanam. The Abharanam is Pannaga or snake. She is always united with Shiva. Shiva is always united with Parvati. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. The 9th shloka, the last one. Etat pathet ashtakam ishtadam yaha bhaktya saha manyo bhuvi dirghajivi prapnoti saubhagyam anantakalam bhuyat sada tasya samasta siddhihi. So yaha bhaktya, the person with devotion. Etat ashtakam, etat idam ashtakam pathet. Bhaktya pathet manyo, the one who thinks about, one who is chanting. Etat pathet. Saha manyo bhuvi dirgha jivi. So that person will get the blessing. He will be respected. And in bhuvi means in the world. Prapanche. Dirgha jivi. The good arogyam that will give long life. Prapnoti, he will get. What will he get? Saubhagyam. We all want prosperity in our life. Saubhagyam. And that Saubhagyam is not temporary. Anantakalam. Till his end. Eternal. A period which is not specifically limited or defined. He will get only for 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 10 years. No. The person who chants this shloka with a lot of devotion will be respected. He will get longevity in this universe. He will live a prosperous life and for an unlimited amount of time. Sada tasya samasta siddhihi bhuyat. May always all the siddhi that he wants in this janma. It could be materialistic, it could be spiritual. Whatever he is seeking, may that be fruitful, successful. So all of us have different kinds of prarthana that we have in different stages of our life. Whoever is praying for whatever in each of, like, in the previous one, Vidyarthi labate vidya, Dhanarthi labate dhanam, Putrarthi labate putran, Moksharthi labate gatim. We had that in Ganesha Stotra that we learned. So different stages, we have different kinds of artha that we seek. So whatever you are seeking, whether you are seeking for spiritual progress, materialistic progress, sometimes both. We want progress spiritually also, we want progress materialistic also. These days, material wealth also kind of matters given the cost of living and other things. I was telling somebody, just step out of the house and 2,000 rupees gone from our pocket. So that is also important. And healthy relationships. a good satsangam. That is also a prayer. I always keep telling my children, the kind of people you associate yourself, you surround yourself will be the reflection of you. You tell me about your friend, I will tell about you. So it is very important we surround with right kind of relationships. And my prayer has always been, give me people who will enhance what the little I know, enhance and look at the positivity and the strengths that I possess. All of us have strengths and weaknesses. We need to be around people who keep uh, enhancing the strengths, getting it better, help us tackle the weakness in a very healthy way instead of constantly pointing at the weakness that we have and suppressing our strength. So getting a good satsang, getting a good set of people around us is also very important. So samasta siddhi, may that person achieve whatever he wants, be it materialistically or be it spiritually. That bhakta who chants this shloka, Ashtakam, it has 8 verses. He will be respected. He will have a long life with good health. He will lead a prosperous life and not for a temporary period of time, for until his time is over in here, maybe paralogam too. And whatever he is seeking, may that be given to him. It will be given to him. So that is the meaning. What was the question? Sorry. Shivanvita. So here, I think the previous, I love that pada. So here, if you look, Shivanvita, Shivanvitaye, to one who is always united with Shiva. So Shiva, Anvitaye is united. She who is always united with Shiva is Shiva Anvitaye. Now, if you look at the other pada, Shiva Anvitaya, he who is always united with Shiva, which is Parvati. Energy of it should be Parvati here. I think that is why. Parvati refers to Shiva. To one who is always united with Parvati. So Shiva Anvitaye, Shiva Anvitaya. Both of them are mutually looking to be united with one another. Six. What is 6? 6. This is describing the Kesham. So Ambodhara Shyamala Kuntalaya. So the hair of Ambigai is like the dark cloud that carries water, the rain cloud. Ambha is water. Ambodhara, that which carries. Shyamala is black. Kuntalaya is the hair. Tadit Prabha Tamra Jatadharaya. Tadit is lightning, Prabha is the shine, Tamra is copper, Jatadharaya is the Jatamudi. Nirishwaraya, Nikhileshwaraya. Nirishwaraya, Nir Ishwaraya means she has nobody who is beyond her or superior to her. Nikhileshwaraya means the one who is the Lord of the entire universe, Lord of all. So essentially, we are saying that A has nothing beyond and B is the Lord. So which means A is equal to B mathematically. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Any other question? Let me just quickly check YouTube to see if any questions are there. Okay, we're good then. Here the Gaura refers to the fair complexion in one. Gauri, that Gaura, fair complexion. Very common thing to say, Tangom. Mohon Tangom Madri Jodi Karta, right? But the complexion is fair in color. Yeah. I have a few pictures of Ardhanarishvara temples. We can maybe do 1 or 2 chanting quickly, just one two people can volunteer, and then I will show the pictures. I would like to try and chant. Sri Vidya Bhagni, why don't you try? Let me go back. Ram Ram Namaste.
चान्तेय गौरार्धशरीरकायै कर्पूरगौरार्धशरीरकाय धम्मिल्लकायै च जटाधराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय कस्तूरिका कुङ्कुमचर्चितायै चितारजः पुञ्जविचर्चिताय कृतस्मरायै विकृतस्मराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय क्षणक्वणत्कङ्कणनूपुरायै पादाब्जराजात्पणिनूपुराय हेमाङ्गदायै भुजगाङ्गदाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय विशालनीलोत्पललोचनायै विकासिपङ्केरुहलोचनाय समेक्षणायै विषमेक्षणाय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय मन्दारमाला कलितालकायै कपालमालाङ्कितकन्धराय दिव्याम्बरायै च दिगम्बराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय अम्भोधरश्यामलकुन्तलायै तडित्प्रभाताम्रजटाधराय निरीश्वरायै निखिलेश्वराय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय प्रपञ्चसृष्ट्युन्मुखलास्यकायै समस्तसंहारकताण्डवाय जगज्जनन्यै जगदेकपित्रे नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलायै स्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय शिवान्वितायै च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवायै च नमः शिवाय एतत् पठेदष्टमिदं यो
One more time. Etat patedashtakamishtadam yo.
एतत् पठेदष्टकमिष्टदं यो भक्त्या समान्यो भुवि दीर्घजीवी प्राप्नोति सौभाग्यमनन्तकालं भूयात् सदा तस्य समस्तसिद्धिः इति श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवतः कृतौ अर्धनारीश्वरस्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्.
Excellent. Is Party there with you?
Yes.
Yes.
Ram Ram. I did not realize when I saw the name it was your granddaughter Daya Bhatni. Do you want to tell us about her?
Yeah, I mean, this actually in this class, she was very eagerly looking forward to. I am Vani ma'am's student, and she is my granddaughter, 6 years old. She has learned the Bhagavad Gita fully from memory. She can chant all the shlokas, and she is blessed with quick learning ability and passion to learn shlokas. Actually, she was very eager to join today's class. This is the first time she is hearing about the shloka during the class. She wanted to learn and she wanted to chant. In fact, she wanted to do the first time Anucharanam, but then I said it is not at all possible. So, but then towards the end of the class, she's happy to have got the chance. And thank you.
What a blessed child. I had the bhagyam of listening to her when you keep sending me her audio clippings of her shloka chanting. This is the first time I think she's come as part of the class, which is one of the reasons I keep this on Sundays, though my family doesn't like it. So that children can participate, and Srividya is one child who is prodigy. The word prodigy would be an understatement. At the age of 5 and 6 to have learned all the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and I don't think can she read all the Sanskritam aksharas?
No, not. She cannot.
She cannot. So she is only saying this out of memory, from her memory. Right?
Yeah, yes, yes, ma'am. Actually, that is why I requested, like, if it is repeated twice, it gets better into her this one. That is
I see. I did not realize it was you who was asking this, but I'm glad that we got a chance to hear her.
Every time, actually, I am also feeling overwhelmed and surprised because today is the first day, even the name of the shloka to just, it's not that she has been familiar with it earlier. So having seen it for the first time, listening to it for the first time and going through it for the first time, she is able to chant it towards the end of the class. Of course, the English lyrics, she can just, just so that she doesn't lose track, for that she can have that. Like if it is starting with Konat means she will know, okay, it is this shloka. To that extent, she can read the English part, but she cannot read through to make sense actually.
Right. If that is, yeah, I think, yeah. I'm glad that she's born into a family that can recognize this, and you're channeling her blessing. I don't want to use the word talent, her blessing the right way. So it will take her places, and I'm sure she will be completely into this path like other children of our satsang. Like I say, when Haridra from Japan, when she started our Bhagavad Gita classes, I think she was less than 10, I believe. I don't know if Haridra's mother is here, but it's late for them. So she was less than 10, and after every class, she used to write down all the meaning, which I was encountering for the first time, and she would come and summarize. I didn't even know if she could understand the meaning of, Atma and attachment. It doesn't perish, whatever explanation. And because she lives away from India, she used to struggle speaking Tamil. But my first inspiration has been Haridra. She was one of the youngest in the class then. Of course, Jyotsna, is her sister, is the one who is pulling our satsang along. These slides were created by Jyotsna. I just modified a little bit of pictures here and there. It was completely created by her. So now I think Srividya is also coming into this line, and I'm sure there will be a day when she will be teaching many people and making a difference to so many people's life, and she'll be a torch bearer for Sanatana Dharma. All our blessings.
This, ma'am. Actually, she is in UKG. The UKG graduation these days they do, right? So she is like, her teacher has asked her, "What do you want to become?" So she has said, "I want to become a shloka teacher."
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's absolute blessing. The journey from her previous janma has continued here, and it is a blessing that we have been connected. Every member who is listening to this, either live recording or later, for many years later, whoever is listening to this is a blessed person, that such a blessed child's chanting. We are able to do the Shravanam. Thank you so much. It has been wonderful hearing her chant. God bless you, Karna. May Guru always be with you. Just maintain your humility and surrender to Bhagavan and Guru all the time. That will always be my my blessing and suggestion and request to every one of us. Let us maintain the Vinaya Bhavam towards Bhagavan and be grateful for the blessing that has been given to us. I don't even know if she understands what I'm saying, but I do want to.
Another similarity that I can relate her with you is that she's every day before leaving for school, whether she understands the meaning or how she has acquired, she used to say Periva Kapatugo, and then she goes for school as if it is one saying by like that. It's become a whether by rote she acquired or that spark is there in her. I mean, truly it is God's blessing, Guru's blessings. We are also feeling very thankful to get the opportunity to learn more from you. Thank you so much.
Guru Kripa. Thank you so much. Love you, Patu. All our blessings and wishes to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kanna. Ram Ram. Okay. I have some pictures. Let's see if members. Oh, there is a crossword here. Let's see. I think we should be able to wrap up by 7. The composer of Ardhanaareeshwara Stotram. Adi Shankara. Color of Ambal is compared to what flower? Champaka flower. Ornaments of Shiva is made of A+ students in the class. Snake. Ambal's forehead is adorned with forehead is not adorned with Ratnam. Kasturika Kumkumam, correct. Shiva's Jatamudi shines like a copper, but I've given 9 words. What is it? Tadit. So I think it must be lightning, correct. Eye of Ambal is compared to Neelotpala, correct. Ambal dances with a dash on her face. Lasya, which is smile. Very nice. Shiva's body is fully smeared with ashes or vibhuti, correct. Mother of universe. What is the term which is used there? Jagat Janani. Yeah, I think we got everything right. 100 out of 100 for everybody who answered. Which temple is this? Tiruchengodu. That is right. Sujata ji is here. Jyotsna's mother is here. Tiruchengodu temple. This one? Oh, Haridra has answered. Hi, Kanna. Second temple? Tiruchengodu is in Namakkal district. This temple is in Chennai. Is Lalita ji there or has she dropped off? The temple is a stone's throw away from Lalita ji's place. It is not Ratnagirishwara. It is Ardhanarishwara temple in Nanganallur. This one? actually got a different picture later. I missed updating. We will come back to this one. This is not Kaladi. It is not Vadakunadar either. Where is this? This is also Ardhanarishvara. This is Gupta Kashi, correct? Ardhanarishvara in Gupta Kashi. This one? Padmavati Bagni, that is right. Gupta Kashi. This one? This one, I think, is in Haridwar. This one, I think I had a different picture. Let me, are you able to see my share? Hold on. So it says there is an Ardhanarishvara temple in Malappuram in Kerala, where you actually have to wade through water to enter the temple. So it is situated in Veligonda in Malappuram district. The pathway is in water there. So a few different Ardhanarishvara temples. Hopefully we'll all get a chance to visit. I think we had Tiruchengodu, we had Nanganallur Ardhanarishvara, which I think Mahapariva was the one who discovered the idol. He was walking in Nanganallur, and one was Rajarajeshwari Kovil and the other one was Ardhanarishvara. I think Adobe was cleaning the clothes, washing the clothes, and Mahapariva said, do you think this is just a normal stone? He is actually Ardhanari. And then when they excavated, they found the Ardhanari Swarupam there. So that is one. Then I'll share the PPT back again. Sorry. So this is Nanganallur. This one, I think I need to flip the picture. This is Gupta Kashi, and then this, I think, is Haridwar. I'll just take a minute to share a short experience with from Mahapariva's Charitam. There used to be a great devotee of Mahapariva called Pollachi Jayalakshmi. She hailed from Pollachi. They used to call Pollachi Jayam. And periodically she used to come and visit Mahapariva, and she was an ardent devotee of Periva. So once when she came to visit Periva, she was just standing in a corner, as usual, expressing her devotion to Periva in a way that was very unique. She would just stand there for hours and hours together, trying to, just connect with Periva emotionally, mentally, and get his blessings. So that day, Balu Mama, who is one of the people who do Kainkaryam there in the Matham, he apparently told Pollachi Jayam Mami that, you've been here so many times, you're such an ardent devotee of Periva, but you have never received Periva's paduke, his sandals. So he said, why don't you ask him? If you ask, I think he would give. And Mami said, no, I don't want to ask. If Periva wants to give, he will anyways give it himself. I am not going to go and ask, saying that Paduka Tarela, would you give me your Padukas? So that day, what happened? She continued waiting for a very long time, enjoying Periva's darshan. And Periva, this was period when Periva wasn't talking much. He was in that, the recliner, which was there, where he used to just rest. Very few words of conversation, not much of action. So towards the, not during his active years of life, during the time when he pretty much just stayed at the Matham after the Satara Yatra. So then what happened? Balu Mama got a new pair of padukas, and then he placed the padukas in Periva's feet, and Periva, put the padukas, and he was just waiting. So Balu Mama thought maybe if he removes the paduka and asks Periva to see whether he can give that to Jayalakshmi Mami, the Polachi Jayam Mami, Periva can bless and give. But then Periva just held on to the paduka and he refused to let his feet loose. So Balu Mama again and again kept trying. Periva wasn't giving in at all. And then Balu Mama realized maybe Periva wanted Polachi Jayam Mami to go and ask Periva directly. So he signed to Mami saying that, why don't you ask? If you ask, he will give. And she said, no, I am not asking. I am not going and having this conversation with him. So he said, you don't have to ask. You just step forward a little bit and stand there and just stretch your hand out. We will see what happens. If you're destined to get Periva's padukas, you will indeed get them. Then Mami said, finally she mustered the courage. And I think there was also this vairagyam that she had, that if blessing has to come, it has to come from him automatically, not she going in search of it. So she went out, stood near Periva, and then was just stretching her hand out. Periva slowly removed the sandals and lifted them up, signing that, you go ahead and take the padukas. So Mami started sobbing there uncontrollably, and she received the paduka, did namaskaram to the paduka, did namaskaram to Periva, and then Utro Vangikare, it's time for me to leave. And then she was turning back. When she turned back, she paused there for a second, looking at the two padukas in hand. The entire set of people who were present there, they were all in joy, and they were all in awe, looking at the prasadam, kind of prasadam that Periva has given to Polachi Jayam Mami. So she was looking at it, and then she paused for a second, and she turned back to look at Periva, and then Periva was like, the left one is smaller. It's okay. Po, go. The இடது பக்கம் வந்து சின்னதா இருக்கா, பரவாயில்ல, po. And then she just left. After she left, she came to the front of the matam, and then Balu Mama was very happy and elated that, she got the paduka that day. And then she showed the paduka to Balu Mama, and then he looked at the padukas, and he was like, oh, I messed up the pair. I have taken one right from one pair and the left from another pair, and I have kind of mixed it up. Why don't you give the padukas back to me? I will go and get the right set for you with Periva's blessings. And she said, no. When I was looking at the paduka, Periva said, the left leg is smaller. Paravalla, po. It's okay, you go. Meaning that there have been very few instances where gurus who come as Bhagavat Swarupam into this world to do nothing. They come here for Lokakshema. They are the energy centers who do tapas, who want to do Kainkaryam, who want to follow dharma, who want to follow Shastra simply because of Lokakshemam. They want to do good for people. So they generally, a true guru wouldn't reveal that they are Bhagavat Swarupam themselves. And Mahapariva was one such person. He would never indicate that, I am the Bhagavat Swarupam. But gurus take avataram and they come, they bear the human body and they bear everything that a human undergoes. But their sole purpose of arriving into the universe and taking up whatever the sthanam that they have is only for the benefit of the people. So Periva usually does not, has very hardly, very few. You can count the number of instances where he is mentioned that, that he is in fact Ambal or he is in fact Shiva. And so this is one such incident where he is indicated that he is the Ardhanari Swarupam as well. He is Shiva and Shakti, because the left part is indeed Ambigai, and Ambigai's stature is being smaller in nature. The Padam also would be smaller compared to that of Shiva. So indirectly, Periva had indicated that day that Shivanum Nane, Shaktiyum Nane. I am Shiva and I am Parvati. I am Ambal, I am Kamakshi. So I thought this is relevant to the stotra that we have learned today. And whoever the guru might be, they are our eternal father, and that guru is our eternal mother. That person is the true person who will bless us irrespective of what we do, what we don't do, what we give, what we don't give, what we know, what we don't know. A true guru continues blessing the bhakta or the devotee, irrespective of what is brought on to the table. It can be any guru for that matter. For me personally, it is Mahapariyava. It can be any guru that we all sincerely follow with devotion, sincerely follow their path, their teachings, what they stood up for, and we do that with utmost devotion. So this was one instance where Periva indicated that he is the Ardhanari Swarupa. So I thought I will share that as part of the learning as well. Thank you all for joining. It has been a wonderful session. I am very, very grateful to Guru and Bhagavan for sowing the seed of these live learning sessions. It's been personally very heart-touching and enlightening for me, because I put in little more effort than normal where the recordings are sent. And I think it is always wonderful learning through live teachings. And hopefully this month you will by heart, we will all by heart Ardhanaareeshwara Stotram, and maybe after 6 months we can have a chanting of the 6 shlokas that we learn, and we can all say from memory. Thank you all for joining. I'm eternally grateful to Bhagavan and Guru for bringing us all together in this beautiful satsang, and thanks to each one who has helped me in this journey, putting documents together, putting slides together, checking my audios, coming up and sharing pictures, and making suggestions that will enhance the learning as well. Thank you all. Ram Ram Ram. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Mahapariyava Sharanam. Jai Jai Shankara Har Har Shankara. Sarvam Krishna Arpanam Astu. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Hanuman. Sarvam Shiva Shakti Swarupa. Thank you all. Ram Ram.